Video on my car and some issues I'm having with the syncing of the camshaft sensor and the crankshaft sensor. The car did break down yesterday, so I'm going to take you outside and just going to go through what I experienced, and hopefully you can help me troubleshoot what's going on, because I'm at a little bit of a loss, and so I'm just hoping there will be some opinions out there that people have are experienced with, and maybe can sort of point me in the right direction. And before we do that though, have a look at this t-shirt. This is a t-shirt which I've sort of got a few designs going at the moment, and if you click the links below, you'll see them on my website. There's a few different things there. There's a couple of mugs and stuff like that too. So you can help me out by clicking the like button below, or heading to my website and jumping on and having a look at the t-shirt. Anything you do would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we're back in the garage, and this is potentially going to be one of the most frustrating videos I'm going to make about my car and my little journey with the EFI and the turbo conversion. This is a 3-litre SC engine, and for those that have been following my little journey over the last couple of years, you'll know that it's a stock engine, apart from having a set of Max Moritz wedge-shaped pistons in there to make it 3.1 litres or whatnot. And all I've done is I've added the 3.2 Carrera intake manifolds, and obviously it's got an intercooler now, and there's a turbo which is hanging, just underneath the car here. The car's been tuned, it's been running, I've been playing with different maps and learning all things EFI as we go. I mean, if we're going to practice, we may as well practice on my own car. And the ECU is the Ecumaster EMU Black, and the wiring harness is one that I've made myself. So most of it was going okay until about the middle of last year. At high RPM and at high load, so it was boosting, and it's only a low boost set up at about 7 or 8 psi. I had a high RPM misfire, and it was like a real shock to the system. The car, it exploded out the exhaust, a big crack and a bang, and at first I thought I'd blown the engine, but it turns out I hadn't. So anyway, what it turned out to be was a loss of cam sync at high RPM. And so with a bit of backwards and forwards between myself and Ecumaster and the guys that make the cam triggers and whatnot, hang on, I think what I should probably do first is explain my trigger system. So let's go back to the engine bay. So what I'm using, as you can see down in here, that is the crank and camshaft trigger setup from Adapt Motorsport. So it replaces the distributor, and there's a Hall effect sensor mounted here, which is triggered on the crankshaft pulley. So there's a 60-2 gear on there, and then there's another Hall effect sensor in the top when that does the camshaft position. So I'm using Hall effect sensors, and yeah, so I did have an issue at high RPM. Now, the first thing that everybody suggests is that your wiring's no good, or you're getting electrical interference from somewhere else. And okay, that's fair enough. But to that, my question was, well, why is it only doing it now? Why didn't it do that at the beginning? So that's what I didn't quite understand. The guys at Ecumaster over in Europe, they first recommend using filters. So you can then go into your trigger settings on the ECU, and I'll see if I can find it here. So I'm set up for a Hall effect sensor. I've got the pull-up resistor set at 1000 ohms. I've got a low filter setting, rising edge, disable cam sync above 7000 RPM. Now, at the time, when I first had this issue, that came from the factory set at whatever the default number was, and I think it was something like 20,000 RPM. So what Ecumaster suggests that I do is change that figure from whatever it was to 2,000 RPM. So that just means that it looks for cam sync to start the car and fire the car, but anything above 2,000 RPM, it just doesn't even look at it anymore. So if there's missing teeth or whatever, or it gets an error or a glitch or interference, it's just going to keep running and ignore it. That's not really solving an issue, that's just sort of a workaround. And that might be a fairly legitimate way to do it. And then the issue still happened. At first I thought it was okay, but then one day I was sitting with the car idling. So I'm only idling at like 950 RPM, and the car just stalled. And when I looked at the log, it showed that I had lost a cam sync again. So I don't know which sensor. The reason I'm doing this video is hopefully so somebody else can sort of maybe give me a bit of insight as to how these things really work. But when it says it loses cam sync or the trigger tooth, does that mean that it's the sensor on the distributor, or is it the sensor on the flywheel, or is it neither? Does it just mean that when it loses cam sync, it just means that it's the relationship between the two that's missing, and so it doesn't tell me which sensor isn't functioning correctly? That's what I want to try and figure out, which sensor isn't functioning. But when I spoke to the gentleman at Adapt Motorsport who manufactures the trigger unit, he suggested I enable this advanced filter. So there's my trigger tooth, number 63. In this particular case, is my trigger tooth. And he said there's a tooth deviation. If you put like 2 in there, it just means that if it senses a tooth either side, a trigger tooth either side of, 65 or 61, it's going to ignore it. So what I did was, when I had the engine out of the car, because I was for other reasons, I decided to change the Hall effect sensor on the crankshaft. So I replaced it with a brand new Hall effect sensor. Now the sensors that are being used by Adapt Motorsport are I think they're a Honeywell ZF sensor, and I'll put a little picture down below, or a link, but they're the little Hall effect sensors. So they're a 3-wire sensor in there, and they're supposed to be pretty superior to VR sensors. They're supposed to be, or magnetic sensors. They're meant to be a bit sort of more impervious to resistance and whatnot. So that's what I did. I put a new crank sensor in there and double checked my wiring and everything like that. So it's all crimped correctly. And at the same time, I then enabled that tooth deviation on the filter there. And that was about 4 or 5 months ago, and ever since then I've not had an issue. I have not had a cam sync issue. It's never backfired at high RPM, it's never stalled while idling, etc. So it's been perfectly fine. Up until yesterday, the 3rd of January. So I'd gone for a short drive, just trying out a different ignition map, just to experiment with my low RPM acceleration. Went for a drive. About 16 minutes into the drive, I'm on my way home. I'm about 3 streets away from home, heading uphill of course, and it just cut out. The car just stops running. It was as if I'd just turned the ignition key right off. I pull over to the side of the street and I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? So the first thing you think is, have you run out of fuel? No, the tank is completely full. Is the pump running? Turn the ignition to on, the key to on, you can hear the pump prime until it gets to its 3 bar pressure, whatever it is, and then the pump cuts out. Turn the key to start, crank, 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 nothing. I keep trying this, like off and on and off and on and off and on, and then eventually it'll fire, run for like a couple of seconds, like it's normal, and then just cut out again. And I'm like, what the hell? So because I'd specifically gone out for a drive with the laptop and trying different maps, I hooked up I had the laptop already open, but I took a scope of my camshaft and crank trigger signal. Now I didn't save it because it didn't pick anything up. So when the ECU is not telling me that there's any trigger, even though it's cranking the engine, that sort of made me think, well, is the ECU working, or do I have power to my sensors? So I've checked everything else. I checked all my other sensors, and they're all functioning. So pump's functioning, throttle position sensor, my map sensor's reading correctly, my fuel pressure sensor's reading correctly. So there's power going to the ECU. But for whatever reason, it wouldn't run. It would start and stop, start and stop. And I rang and organised a tow truck. While I was waiting for that, I rang a friend to see whether he had a tow rope to pull me 3 streets home, because it was uphill. And then I tried starting it again, and then for whatever reason, it started. And it kept running. This is about 15 minutes later, 10 to 15 minutes after I'd been pulled over. And I thought, you know what, I'll just see whether I can keep it running and just get home. So I got home, and I'm in the garage. As you can see, I'm in my garage. And I just don't know. I don't know what the cause is. So I thought, well, is it a loose connection? Because straight away, every manufacturer who sells any product is going to say, well, it's obviously not us, it's got to be you. So they're going to say, is it your wiring? The thing is, I haven't changed anything. I haven't done anything. I've gotten out there, so while the car's idling in the garage, I've gone out and I've wiggled every connection on the engine, every connection on my sensors, and even the connections on the back of the ECU inside the car. I do have a large Autosport connector, which carries all the connections from all the sensors and whatnot through here. But again, that's a quality connection. It's all weather sealed. But again, undoing it, checking it, there's no moisture in there. Obviously all my relays and fuses are all intact. I use, from my camshaft triggers, cam and crank triggers here, these are the wires, I use a genuine Deutsch connector. And again, these are weather sealed by default. And I've tried tugging on everything. I've pulled them apart. All the pins are fully extended, so there's no retracted pins. The wires that go into the sensors themselves, obviously they're all sealed from the factory. And I wasn't able to replicate any glitches. I've just fired the car up before I started the GoPro, and it seems to be working. So let's do it again. So that's the pump sound, that's the pump priming. So it runs. So that's what I've been doing. I've just been sort of going around and just checking everything. Now, so the only thing that is different is 2 days before I did wash the car. As you look how clean my wheels are. And yes, a little bit of water did get into the engine bay. But I've washed this car so many times the same way, and I do use one of those blowers to help dry off the car, and I use that to blow the majority of the water out of the engine bay as well. You know, so I blow all the water that, you know, may have dripped onto the crank sense triggers there. And everything's secure, nothing seems to have moved. I've checked all my grounds. Most of my grounds go through this big giant cable at the back here, onto the engine. And of course all the sensors are grounded to the ECU sensor ground. So I'm open to suggestion. I don't think it's the wiring. If it was the wiring, why would it just come back after 15 minutes? It feels like it's almost organic in nature, like it's something which has failed and then mended itself, and I know that's impossible. It wasn't anything that I did, because I tried jiggling all the connections in the back of the car when it had broken down, and I went to crank it and I still got nothing, as in no cam crank signal. So what I'm trying to understand is, with the scope, I don't think I can show you one, but let me see. So that's what you see when you have a blank screen. And when I was taking the snapshot while I was cranking, I was getting nothing. It was completely blank. So what I was doing is holding down, cranking, and when I took off the button, it was blank, just like that. And what you should see, hopefully it won't start, but I'll just try and do this. See that? So that's what you should see. You see the primary trigger, which is the crankshaft pulley. That's what you should see. And then the secondary trigger, there's one little mark there where it's counted the tooth. So that's what you should see when cranking, but I was getting absolutely nothing on my trigger. So that makes me think that either I was getting no power to the sensors, but the power for the sensors is the 5 volts that's generated by the ECU, and I also use the 5 volts supplied by the ECU to power my TPS, and I think my map sensor maybe, I'm not too sure, and the I think it's the fuel pressure sensor as well. They're all 5 volt sensors. So they're working because I tested those. I checked those while I was having a no crank situation, and all of those sensors were working. They use the same power source. They ground to the same sensor ground. So it means that my 2 cam and crank sensors weren't getting anything. What I'll do is I'll take my, I just don't know whether there's a break in the power from where the 5 volt sensor wire branches off to my cam and crank signals. Unlikely, but all I can do is maybe carry a multimeter with me in the car next time and then just see whether I lose power to the sensors only. I think it's unlikely that both sensors would fail at the very same time, and then both sensors would fix themselves at the same time. That leaves potentially the ECU. Now, I don't know what the ECU manufacturer will say, but I think I know it's highly unlikely, and every time you read about issues with aftermarket ECUs, it's always the user, i.e. me. It could be it'll be the wiring or maybe a sensor. When I did the wiring for this car, I did take a lot of time to do it, and I bought all the correct tools. I used quality crimps, and I did the tug test on every single crimp. I'm fairly confident in my wiring, but that doesn't mean that it's not the cause. But again, if it was wiring, why would they both fail at the same time, then both come back and then not do it? So that's why I'm saying it feels organic. I don't know whether it's heat related because it wasn't very hot yesterday. And again, I've been driving this car for, I don't know, a few months with the latest crank sensor in there. So yeah, I'm open to ideas. I'd love to hear any thoughts. I know this has been a long and boring video, and if you watch this far, thank you very much. Don't forget to check out the website for some of these cool shirts, and there's a few different designs on there. And look, if you could help me out by just liking the video, I'd really appreciate it.